everyone, it's Sandy Chong here from the Australian Hairdressing Council, and I have with me again Neil Osborne, who is the only certified Profit First professional in the hair and beauty industry. Now, we had a session with Neil on P&Ls and how to read your P&L, how to understand your P&L, and it was so good that we've asked him back for a second session. But interestingly, when I asked Neil, what will we talk about in this session? He said, I'm going to talk about how to lose weight. I think I'm going to have to really listen in on this one. So I don't know about you, but anyway, so I'm going to introduce Neil and find out, well, why does he want to teach us about how to lose weight after our session on talking about P&L? So good to see you again, Neil.
Lovely to be back, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I do want to talk about losing weight. And I think it's probably the most popular subject. He says, hiding his tummy under the table.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sort of still wearing that Christmas, like pavlova. I actually specialize in pavlova making. So made a few of them, and I did eat a lot of that. So I'm going to take it over to you now, leave it to you and let you explain to everybody, how to lose weight.
Yeah, how to lose weight and do so in a financial manner. Oh, this is going to be an interesting subject to tackle. Well, first and foremost, let's just all chat about this and have a laugh. What's the most common New Year's resolution made in the world? And that is that I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose some kilos or whatever it might be that's relevant to you. And as we get older, we all find that harder to do. Well, one thing that COVID has taught us is we need to look after us, don't we? And our health and more importantly, our internal health. Well, when we look at our business, we need to do the same. And the thing that COVID, I think, has taught a lot of us is that we can no longer just gloss over the numbers. We actually have to have a closer look at them. We actually have to get to understand them. But more importantly, we have to work out how to influence them. And boy, that's hard. That is really, really hard. So the first place I wanted to talk to you about is, well, what's the most common technique that people use to lose weight? Well, we all know that, and today medical will tell us that to lose weight, 80% of it's got to do with what you put in your mouth, and the other 20 to 30% has got to do with your activity. I mean, that's just very general stuff, and most of us understand that. So when you want to lose weight, one of the most effective ways to lose weight is to reduce your portion size. Okay. And that may mean you still have 3 meals a day, but it simply means that, you may just have a slightly smaller plate, let's call it, because that's the easiest way to control your portion size. And also, get rid of that long-term belief that was told by your parents that you have to eat everything on your plate. So, if you can struggle with those two things, you've got a good chance of losing carbs. Now, losing weight. I haven't even got into talking about carbs. So that's the basic fundamentals. So how do we take that basic fundamentals and roll it across to our business? Well, first and foremost, we need to get really clear on where our money is going. See, I believe you improve your profitability not by managing your expenses, but by managing your income. So where does your income go? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Where does, the days have gone of where we used to always get called to the till because it was too full of cash. Remember those days, Sandy? Mum had those days, Christmas weeks was always, can you empty the till, Alma? That's getting a bit full with money. Well, today we see these figures floating into our bank account, but it seems to disappear. So one really simple yet effective way to reduce your outgoings and think about a better way to manage your income is to actually put it in some buckets. Now, this may, for some of you, equate to some family stories about envelopes and how many years ago, before banks were popular, grandma used to have dad or grandfather come home, put his weekly wages on the table, and she would then divvy it up into envelopes, some for the rent, some for, rainy day. Yeah, we've had a few of those, haven't we, over the last couple of years? Anyway, some money for holidays and so on and so on and so on. And shopping, and those envelopes were only ever used for that purpose. So my challenge to you is, remember, the way to improve profitability is how you manage your income. So you therefore need to start putting money in certain places, but put the money there for a purpose. GST, needs to have its own bank account, and it needs to be siphoned off first. And that money needs to stay in that account. Let's call that a small plate. We then start to look at our other expenses. And what a lot of people do is they go, oh, gee, my expenses for the month were $50,000, to pick a hypothetical number. I've got to get it down to 40,000. Well, that's like saying I need to lose 10 kilos tomorrow. How realistic is that going to be? And by the way, I've normally set myself up to fail if I want to lose 10 kilos in a week. So to set yourself up to have such a radical change to your cash flow or your budgeting is also going to set yourself up to fail. So if we start going, okay, well, wages is a big piece of my pie. How about I put that into a separate account, either monetary wise, which I can talk about later, or we can just do it on a P&L. And then I'm going to try to reduce it by 1%. That's all. I'm going to try to reduce it by 1% by looking closer at my roster and looking more closely at who's working when and how, and seeing if I can find some efficiency. I've broken out my cost of goods also based on what Neil was talking last time, and I can now see more clearly what I'm spending with companies. How about I try to reduce that by 1%? By the way, that's the easiest one to do. But anyway, and you set up stock systems, you set up, or maybe negotiate a bit of discount or whatever it might be. But that, you can pick up maybe 1 or 2% there very, very quickly. Now, just in those two examples, we've picked up 3%. Well, and by the way, I'm talking about percentages of turnover. So that's 3% of turnover we've picked up in savings. Well, where's that going to go? Well, there's only one place for it to go, and that is all the way to the bottom, to profit. So, if you want to lose weight in your business, take small steps. Think about ways that you can segregate different parts of your money into different sections. And as a profit first professional, there is actually a worldwide methodology, which is called Profit First, which talks about splitting the money up into separate bank accounts. But, I don't want to quite get to that level today. I simply want to ask you to start to think about how you can lose weight in your business, how you can take better control of your money, and understand really clearly that the profit comes from how you manage your income, not just your expenses. Think about it. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.
Neil, that was fantastic, because I think also too, for many businesses, especially on the eastern coast of Australia, we're in recovery mode. And so we can't quite really operate like we did 2 years ago. And, for the salons who have been in lockdown, that have come out of lockdown, been really affected by, the Omicron virus and
knocked
all of
around.
the personal leave and everything, there's an increase of wage costs, etc., and maybe lack of productivity because of the amount of cancellations of clients. So a lot of the advice that you gave then just makes a lot of really good sense for every business to just, really look at those percentages. If we can reduce exactly as you say, I know some fixed costs, but other costs could definitely be reduced. And I'm even looking at my own business. I'm a business as well who has certainly been affected by the lockdowns and the lots of cancellations, staff off with COVID and whatever. So that was really helpful. And I think that, I think if every business owner actually saved 3% right now in like small steps, I think that would be a huge help. So thanks again, and hope to see you back again on Business Snips. That was fantastic. Thanks.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Sandy.